today we're gonna do another sourdough recipe, and today we're making buttery sourdough buns, and this came off of King Arthur's website, King Arthur Flour. They have some really wonderful recipes. I've never made this one before, but it looked so good and sounded so good that I decided I just had to try it. So we'll get started and I'll show you how to make this recipe. Okay, this is my regular sourdough starter, and I fed it last night. So you can see nice big bubbles and all of the stringiness. It's ready to use. I have put this recipe into grams. King Arthur's website lets you decide between measurements, grams, or ounces. And I do it in grams just because that's how I always do my sourdough. So I'm going to start out with 120 grams of fed sourdough. And you can also use discard, but I've got the fed, so I'm going to use it. A little bit over. All right. So set this out of the way. And then we're going to add all-purpose unbleached flour. So we're going to add 361 grams. And I tared out my scale, I zeroed it. So $361 grams. There's not many ingredients in this recipe. So now I'm going to put this on the mixer because we've weighed out everything that gets weighed. Then we're going to add 2.5 teaspoons of instant yeast, 14 grams of sugar, and 1.25 teaspoons of salt. All right, let's put the dough hook on. And you can do this by hand or you can do it with a stand mixer. And I'm just going to turn this on, and I probably won't show you the whole process because it's loud. But you turn it on and you want to mix it and combine it until it makes a smooth dough. So let me bring you back when it's done that. Well, I thought that was a little odd that there was no water in here, so I went back and printed the recipe again, and it added ingredients. I have two different, it's pretty weird. This one does not have all the ingredients on it. So we're going to add to what I've already put in here 152 grams of lukewarm water, 1 large egg, and we're going to add 71 grams of soft butter. Now let's see how this comes out. I knew something wasn't right and it wouldn't come together, so it's all new to me. So let me get it going and I'll bring you back. All right, I have kneaded this for a while with my mixer. Now I will say it was really a wet dough, and that's not what it says it's supposed to be. So I just added a little bit more flour until it got to a better consistency. So now I'm going to take it out of the mixer and put this in a lightly greased bowl. And we're going to let this rise for about 1.5 to 2 hours. So It's still sticky, but it's more smooth like it called for, soft, smooth dough. So I'm going to take this out, put it in my bowl, and let it rise. All right, I let this go about 2 hours, and it is definitely doubled in size. So now what we're going to do is just deflate it. And I think I'm going to put some oil on my hands. So we're going to go about 12 inches by 16 inches. Okay. Now I've melted, let's see, it's 57 grams of melted butter, but we're going to divide that. So out of that 57 grams of melted butter, I took 2 tablespoons and put in a separate little cup. And to that, I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. And this, you don't have to do this. From what it says, this is for color, not so much for flavor. So it's just going to make a really pretty buttered roll. Okay. Now we're going to spread this all over this patted out roll. I'm not going to go all the way to the edge because we're going to be rolling this and you don't want it where it won't seal. So let me get this out of the way. Now what we're going to do is start with the long side and gently roll it. And I'm just going to pinch that edge to get it to seal. Alright, I had to go get my pans. So now what we're going to do is just cut this in 1-inch pieces. And these are going to go into 8 or 9-inch buttered cake pan. It said oiled, but I figure if these are buttery rolls, they should be put in butter. You never get too much butter. And you can also cut this with a piece of dental floss or whatever, but I just like my bench scraper. So now I'm going to get the second pan. think I can fit that one in there. Okay, so I've got 2 pans. Now I'm going to set these aside and let them rise for about an hour. And I'm going to cover these so they don't dry out. So I took these out of the oven and I brushed them with butter after I took them out. It says you can brush them before you put them in, but that's not what I did. So now I'm going to take these out and put them on a rack to cool. And they look so pretty. So let's let them cool a bit, then we will taste them. Okay, I've got my yummy soup that I made, and that's a separate video. And here is the buttery sourdough bun. So let's break it open and look at it. There's not a whole lot of color, it's just a little bit, and that was all it was for, was color. So let me take a taste. That's good. The bottom is just firm, it's not really crunchy. The inside is nice and tender. You might taste just a hint of the paprika, but really not. You could also use this same dough in the same technique to make cinnamon rolls. Then add some glaze, and that would be wonderful. This would be perfect for that also. But it's great for just adding to a meal. So I hope you try this. Be sure and print the whole recipe out or take notes of what I did. But it is really good, and I will make this again. So thank you for watching, and I appreciate all of my viewers and my subscribers. So if you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up, share it, subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you for watching, and we'll talk again soon.